Alright, Mephis. If you think this fight is bullshit and not just a cool fight, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Bro, this fight is so cool. This might be my favorite fight, including Souls. This might be like my third or fourth favorite fight in all of boss fights in gaming. Because this fight feels very rewarding and it challenges being ballsy and skilled. It's very satisfying. Because his parries are hard to hit, but also once you, just like anything, once you learn the timing, it becomes like super easy and like almost more so of a dance, you could put it. And he just looks really cool. And Lightning's badass. I will say the clone, I'll talk about it in a sec, but the clone could just have very unlucky spawn combos and locations. Now, sort of like my first thing that I did in the fight was I stim a lot in a boss fight, meaning like my brain's firing very, very fast. I would recommend for the Mephis fight to, unless you're using Rover, because Rover's parry is very easy to hit. When I tried fighting him with Gian and Calcharo, I had to wait a lot longer than I thought I would because he has to come towards you. So a lot of his, I would say 4 of his parry attacks, he comes straight towards you. So waiting for him to come towards you, just waiting like a second or two, seeing what attack he does, remembering the timing, and waiting for him to come to you makes it a lot easier to parry as opposed to C-circle instant parry. If you're using Rover though, you can sort of pre-parry that shit because she hits. I mean, you could even use this for the other 3 bosses, but she sort of does a hit and then there's a lingering hit, and the lingering hit can parry. It's pretty insane. His parries are overall pretty easy to hit, even on other characters aside from Rover, if you're patient. Because if you get greedy with it, I've never seen someone parry too late. I usually see people parry way too early, where they throw out an attack, and then they don't have enough time to make up for their mistake and dodge, or throw another parry, because they're just barely off of parrying the initial attack. Patience is, in my opinion, the key for this fight, because he deadass will one-shot you. My Rover has like 16k HP, and one little hand swipe is like 13,000 damage. So be patient. You're gonna get your damage pump regardless if you parry it frame 1 or frame 3. You're gonna get your damage. It's okay. Now, still speaking about parrying, the clone, he spawns later, sort of like, wait, when's he spawn it? Like, I think he spawns it immediately. His clone, well, by immediately, I mean, there's not like a health percentage. He just spawns the clone in, I don't think. If you miss a parry, just like with Ike's, and just like with Ike's, if you miss a parry on Mephis, he'll sometimes do, I can't say which one specifically because I just sort of memorize it, but if you miss a parry, he'll spawn the clone and they'll do a combo attack. And the combo attack will vary, but if you miss a parry, just like with Ike's, back away, make sure you can see the clone because he spawned, the clone will spawn, and he is looking to beat your ass. And put it on a silver platter and put it on the plaque on his wall. Because he knows you missed that parry and he knows you a bitch. And you shouldn't have missed that parry in the first place because you're being impatient. Because you wanted that DPS quick. You wanted that brain stim early. No, you gotta wait. Because if you miss that parry, he'll spawn the clone. And then bang, bada, bang, bada, boom, Kamehameha into bring up. And then you're dead. Because that shit's impossible to dodge. And also another moment he'll spawn the clone is when you weakness break him. So pretty much when he's on the ground, there's a chance his clone will spawn. And for me, it hasn't happened every time. It happens like 80% of the time. Sometimes it won't happen, but just assume it happens every time. His clone will spawn and do an attack. Now, normally, it's pretty easy to telegraph, like, just dodge, go back to DPS. But sometimes he'll spawn behind you. That's happened to me like a dozen times. He'll spawn behind you and give you crazy back shots that you will not recover from. And have you face palming and saying, oh my god, that is bullshit, every single time. Or he does the other BS move, which is your camera angle. So he's here, right? Your camera angle will go from here to here. So you can't see over here, right? So the clone will spawn here, and Miku beam through his homie. Anime made characters, Bond from Seven Deadly Sin style, and spear you straight in the chest through his homie. And there's literally no outplay aside from, oh, I can't see him. Let me look behind me. Not there. Oh, he's behind his homie. And then dodge away. That's literally the only outplay. So if you can't see the clone after you miss a parry or after his weakness is broken, he's around. Hey, bro, be paranoid. Be paranoid because that clone is around. Hey, say it's too much. Say it's too much of being paranoid. If you're getting gangbanged by the Mephis and his clone, one thing I found that helped, and because people don't talk about this often, but to keep momentum in a 5-minute fight, and I can say this about all my other bosses too. Aside from the monkey, monkey's easy. Monkey doesn't use any of my brain. Mephis especially uses a lot of brain power. Like dead ass. Like I'll be in a fight, and if there's too much shit to parry, I'll just fry out. I'll short out, and I'll just go dumb. So using moments of parries to recover brain power. Love that song, by the way. You should check it out. It's called Brain Power. If you're getting gangbanged and you feel yourself slipping, look for one parry, if possible at all. And when you hit it, you'll dodge the clone's attacks for a little bit. And it gives you a slight break, and it lets you plan out your next move, because if you parry the clone, you'll dodge the main. If you parry the main, you'll dodge the clone. The only problem with that, though, is sometimes the parry will actually fuck you on occasion, and this has happened to Fob, I believe, a couple times. But you'll parry one, and the other one will do a move that's, because of the time slow, he's moving normally, and he'll just whoop your ass. So occasionally it doesn't help. The tip literally is just look for the parries when you're getting gangbanged. Like, don't try to keep dodging, because there's some attacks you can't out dodge. Like, if he hits you with the swipe into Miku beam, you're cooked. Like, dead ass. I think anyone who does Mephis knows you're cooked at that point. You're literally done, buddy. So any chance you get, look, like, all three of the other fights are pretty much like Ike's also look for parries. But the Huron and the monkey, you look for dodges a little more as opposed to parries, because they don't have so much to parry. For Mephis, you can parry literally every move in his kit, except for the Miku beam, the lightning explosion, and the one slam attack that doesn't start off with a roll. Which, quick tip about the roll. So this is where being patient sort of comes in a lot, because that roll attack has ended so many of my runs, because it does my 99% of my HP bar. When you see him start an attack, just wait a second, and if you don't see the window, dodge. And then when he's up in the air, when the ground is right here, when he gets right here, that's where you parry. Or if you're a rover, you can parry that bitch like up here. Low-key. But it's a very easy parry to hit once you know the timing. So getting that down is a very easy free parry. And aside from a culmination of all the shit that I said, pretty much just get good, crab, middle finger. It's a very fun fight, and it's a very difficult fight, but that's what makes it so good. And I don't even think it's a bullshit fight. I think the only time it's bullshit is when you parry and the clone beats your ass because you parried, right? Or when you get hit by an unlucky combo. That is just a get good scenario, but also it feels really bad. So TLDR for this fight, literally, if you're dodging, you're missing out on free damage, and if you're dodging, you're also going to get hit by a very annoying attack combo. So with Mephis, you have to learn parry. You just have to. There's like when you dodge, you're literally f***ing yourself because you're making the game harder. So learning the parry, that's the boss to do it. And anyways, I mean, shit, that's pretty much it. Hey, check me out, go fight. Hey, maybe I'll fight him later. But check me out on Twitch.tv/Luhrow. Love y'all.